This is a Crypto Legends podcast.
Hey everybody, this is Sophie Guibaud from Fiat Republic, and you're listening to Crypto Legends, the show where we meet the legends and creators of Web3 and crypto. Today, we have the pleasure of having Francois-Julien Alcaraz, who is the founder of CryptoSimple. The explosion of cryptocurrencies and range of tokens make it a complicated and sometimes overwhelming world for investors. Where do you start? How should you invest? CryptoSimple is democratizing access in the most simple way. They are committed to total transparency, convenience, and personalization through their robo-investment advisor, who is empowering people to invest on autopilot. In today's episode, we will sit down with Francois-Julien, learn about his early interest when it comes to crypto as early as 2012, his experience as a digital nomad and getting paid in stable coins, and how CryptoSimple differentiate when it comes to robo-advisory for crypto. We will also touch upon to their approach on transparency and on regulation and their experience when it comes to securing a crypto license in France. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I look forward to discussing it with you further on social media channels. Francois, it's a privilege to have you with us today. You have more than 12 years experience in software development, but there was a moment in 2018 when you served as a financial analyst at Token Flow. Was this the moment that cryptocurrency was first front of mind to you?
No, it wasn't. I bought my first Bitcoin in 2012, 2013.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. But it was really for fun. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna see. And I remember like doing. I think I bought like something like $50. Like not much. And then I did like times 5, 300. Put it off. I think at the time I had like 3 or 4 Bitcoin. It was like the price was like so low. It was just ridiculous. When I think about it now, it's a long time ago, right? I remember I used this app which was called Xapo. I think they're still around.
It's still around. Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I used this app. That was the best app at the time, that had like nice UI, nice UX, make it like really easy to acquire Bitcoin. But yeah, that was back at that time. That was 2013, so that was like mostly personal. And yeah, after I had a period, maybe 2015, I wasn't like too much into it. I was like focusing on something else at work. Then I started to get back into it in 2016. So I became digital nomad. I don't know if you know, but like basically I had a remote job working as a software developer, and I met a lot of other digital nomads, mostly like super minded people. And then we started talking about like crypto. I met some people that did like the ICO of Ethereum that made a ton of money, but also a lot of people that was interesting about smart contracts. And as soon as I heard about smart contracts, like it kind of like I got like really focused into it, because with my technical background, I was like, oh my God, I can build like application on the blockchain now. And for me, that was like super interesting. So that's when I was, starting looking at Solidity, starting looking at like other project building on top of Ethereum. And this is the famous, period area of ICOs, right? And it was just completely crazy. It was a complete like Far West, right? Like everybody was like creating their own project. They were raising money. There was no regulation back at the time. 2016 and 2017 just exploded. I think the first regulation that I can remember was like in Switzerland. They had some stuff going on for ICOs. If I can compare from France, because I'm French resident at the moment. I think we had the ICO visa, but it was 2018. It was at the end of the ICO area. But yeah, that was good time. I was a financial analyst, mostly like reviewing everything regarding tech for all the projects that was raising for ICOs. And I saw various stuff like I saw some project that was like doing their stuff really good in terms of tech, in terms of tokenomics, in terms of floating. But I saw some projects that raised like millions with absolutely nothing, just a white paper. Even the tech team, they was like really junior, and I was like, how is that possible? When I think about it now, I think like I missed an opportunity, like many people.
You mean the Ethereum ICO?
Well, that, but like also like launching your own project, right? Like
Yeah.
I can do a really nice white paper, just like have an idea, try to do an ICO and see like if you can raise millions. Today you can't do that, right? Like it's definitely not happening.
And as a freelancer or even employed in a company, but digital nomad, like were you partly getting paid in crypto, or like did you ever think about it, assessed it?
Yes, I thought about it. The company I was working for was not into crypto at all, so that was not the case. But in 2018, I was a director of engineering for a startup called Mosendo.
Yeah.
I was being paid in crypto. I was being paid in USDC, USDT, stablecoins, and yes, that was great. That was amazing experience. We went to East Berlin, a conference, Ethereum conference in Berlin, 2018. We were building like an Ethereum wallet. That was my first professional technical experience in crypto. Then after that, I did like a boot camp in Solidity. But yeah, that was I got paid in crypto at one point.
I'm not surprised. So we are very much in the early innings of crypto, and there's a lot of discussion around education. However, do you really think that people need or want to know about how Bitcoin, blockchain, or Ethereum is working? What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, for me, the answer is yes, because just what I see around me, and I think it's probably the same for you, Sophie, or for like anyone listening to this podcast. You're probably related to crypto somehow. Like crypto, you have some knowledge, you're being involved, you're working in the industry, etc. And personally, I was, and all my friends and family since like 2017, they came to me and they were like, "Oh, can I invest in crypto? Can you help me? Which coin should I buy? Do you think this ICO is good? What is a smart contract? Can you tell me if this DeFi protocol is good? What should I invest in?" I mean, like so many questions that I was naturally becoming a financial investment officer. And we all have these quotes in the social network, like do not provide like this is not like a financial advice. Well, at one point, I had to get registered to give this financial advice. But yeah, at the beginning, it was complicated because I saw all of these people coming and like asking so many questions because they were interested about crypto. I think it's quite sad, but like most of the people are interested first about the money,
Yeah.
about like making a quick dip into the investment, which I can understand. But what I'm personally most excited about is the tech and the community behind it. Like what I was saying before when I discovered Ethereum. Oh my God, you have smart contracts. You can build an application on it. Yeah, it's exactly what's interesting, right? It's like what the community is building behind it, and what can a decentralized world, Web3 represent for our everyday. So yeah, educating people about like what's Bitcoin, what's Ethereum, what's DeFi, what's a smart contract, what's blockchain, what's gas fees is really, really important for multiple reasons. In our case at CryptoSimple, the primary reason why we try to educate people is because they are interested about investing into crypto, but like any assets, even like traditional assets, let's take for example real estate, right? If you invest in real estate, you want to know what you invest in.
Yeah.
You want to know in which geography, like where is this building going to be built? Is there a market? Is there people that are going to rent? What's going to be the return on investment? Who's building it? Like you do all your due diligence on it. So based on that, if you invest in crypto, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to do your due diligence, right? So what am I investing in? What is this asset? What does it do? Who's behind it? Who's using it? What's the volume, etc. So yeah, people need to be educated. And don't get me wrong, right? There is some investor, they don't mind. They don't really want to understand. They will forward their wealth to a financial investment advisor, which will manage everything for them. A lot of people do that. They don't have time to do the due diligence, etc. So it really depends of like the profile of the investor.
Yeah, I like this parallel actually between like the stock markets and actually crypto, and like educate, like thinking about the projects behind it, like the target market, and indeed like the CryptoSimple proposition being kind of the equivalent of like wealth management, but otherwise could also be seen as kind of ETF, I would say, to some extent, in the things that like you have this your portfolio that manage automatically without thinking about it really. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's mostly like I think ETF kind of, but like it's mostly what we are doing right now, which is the most similar to the traditional to TradFi, right?
Yeah.
To traditional finance is robot advisory,
Yeah.
right? So today we have products like Betterment in US, Nutmeg in UK, Yomoni or Nalo in France, to another extent, that is doing robot advisory. So robot advisory is really like passive investment
Yeah.
first, right? It's a solution for doing passive investment that allows you to invest in a set of like financial project in an automated way, meaning that like you just give your wealth, you give like your fiat, your euros, and everything is going to be invested on your behalf. That's basically like the added value of a robot advisory. The robot advisory is really focusing on automating the work of a financial investment advisor, which is basically defining the risk appetite of the investor. So robot advisory, they do that through an app, through a website. You answer a questionnaire. Even banks do that, right? Like, or a financial investment advisor. You answer a questionnaire, and then based on like the question and answer, we are able to say, okay, so you're pretty much conservative with your risk, or you're pretty much aggressive. So this financial project or this financial project is more adapted to you. So that's what exists today in traditional finance. What we observe back in 2020, 2021 is that doesn't exist in crypto yet. It's not regulated, or it's too decentralized,
Yeah.
right? So it's not accessible to everyone.
Yeah. And so
We
like
decide.
I totally get like about the product. What I would be really curious is to understand who are your users. Can you give us like maybe a couple of different profiles like that are keen on leveraging robo advisory when it comes to crypto?
So our profile is mostly like it's a persona that is between let's say 35 to 45 years old,
Yeah.
right? So it's not as young as we can expect, because it's mostly like people with wealth that are looking for an investment solution in crypto.
Yeah.
So usually personas that have like high net worth, right, in terms of like salary, in terms of wealth, and that is trying to diversify in crypto, but doesn't have knowledge in crypto. He just heard about it, but like doesn't know, and are looking for help, for advice in order to invest. Right? You have to know that like when you want to invest in crypto assets, there is basically two barriers. The first one is an economical barrier. It's the same one that you have in traditional assets, which means like you need to do your due diligence, you need to have like some knowledge, you are exposed to volatility, etc. But in crypto, you have another barrier on top of that. It's a technical barrier, because you need to understand what's the blockchain, how to use it, how to create a wallet, how to use MetaMask, where to save your private key, what's gas fees, what's the block, blah, blah, blah. And then there is DeFi. What's the protocol? How do I protect myself from hacking? How do I do a due diligence on DeFi? How do I understand what's yield, what's a liquidity pool, etc. I mean, that's completely like another world, right? So the barrier is really high to adoption here. And this is basically our persona.
Okay, no, that's really interesting, and I think it's like a question that we will go back to later. But like, I would be super keen. So, like, I would be super keen to understand, like you're saying, like it's wealthy people between 35 and 45 years old. What percentage do they target to put in crypto? Like, what's your feeling here
Yeah.
of their
So
wealth, total wealth? I mean,
the situation of crypto today is it's a new asset, right? I think most of modern
yeah,
wealth manager will agree that like now crypto can be considered as any kind of assets to invest, right? As I was mentioning, real estate, stocks, even gold, FX. Crypto is part of it now. Still considered as a high risk, and that makes sense because it's still a lot volatile for now. So, given what I just said, when you look at your entire wealth today, what we advise, depending on the risk profile of the investor, is to invest between 5 to 15% of their wealth into crypto.
yeah,
That's the situation today, right? Because it's still risky. There's a lot of volatility.
yeah,
In the future, I think like we will probably like reach a part where we can do 30 30 30, right? Like 30 crypto, 30 stocks, 30 real estate, for example. Because the goal for an investor will never change. The goal stays the same, is to diversify as much as we can.
yeah.
And today it's really smart for everyone to diversify in crypto.
Yeah.
Of course, you don't go all in crypto. I saw so many investors in crypto; they are completely like 100% into crypto, super bullish. I mean, everybody does whatever they want, but like I consider that as completely, like super crazy kind of, right? Like you don't put like 100% of your wealth. I think we saw some cases, and it's unfortunate, right? But like with Terra or with Celsius, that just got bankrupt, where there is a ton of individuals that put like all their savings in it. I mean, this is clearly not what you should do into crypto, right? You should diversify with any kind of assets. Here we are talking about crypto because we are at Crypto Legend, but definitely I think the best right now, given the market, is to put 5 to 15% of your wealth into crypto.
And yeah, I agree with you. Like we will be heading towards that direction, and it makes so much sense. Actually, like we recorded another episode with Sophia Schluger from Ember Group, and she was mentioning that like some family offices were actually using Bitcoin as a beta in their portfolio. Like so, basically a specific asset to really make their portfolio more secure. So
It's coming.
yeah.
We are getting there.
Just earlier you mentioned your money, Nutmeg, Betterment, like all these different providers that are more fitted for like or more focusing on the TradFi world. I would be super keen to understand like how CryptoSimple is kind of, I would say, using the same maybe tactics and technology as are used in the TradFi world, and what differences like you have brought to CryptoSimple actually to cater to the specific use case of crypto.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're using the same model, right? So the model is basically robot advisory, really easy. You go on the app, you answer a questionnaire, and then everything is automated. And I don't have to worry about my investments. The robot advisory do it for me. So that's the model we brought to Web3. Now, how does that differ? First, a classic robot advisory in TradFi, usually they work with a broker or with like a fund management in order to another layer of like financial product in order to propose to rebalance this product based on like the risk profile or the market, doing some trade, etc. For us, we don't. We actually are this layer as well. So we do manage funds. We do the custody of the assets ourselves. The reason is we didn't find this product available yet in crypto. It's too early. It's not mature enough. Maybe in 5 years we will. We will say, okay, we stop doing like the management and the custody ourselves. We dedicate that to another provider, and now we do what we do best is robot advisory. Problem is like we can't. if we want to do a robot advisory solution, that's why it doesn't exist in the market, by the way, because there is so many barriers. This is one. So we do the management and the custody ourselves, right? The second thing is the tech.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, you have to think that you get euros, right? You get fiat,
Yeah.
and then you go straight to DeFi. How do you do that? Well,
Yeah.
first, there is regulation that goes into it, right?
Yeah.
Regulation is something new into crypto, right? I think we can talk about it later, but like you need to be regulated because you deal with fiat,
Yeah.
right? Second, you need to buy and sell the assets against fiat, right? Like the crypto assets.
Yeah.
Third, and before that, you need to acquire fiat, right? So that means you need a banking partner, etc. Then you need to buy, sell the crypto. Then you need to do the custody of the crypto yourself.
Yeah.
So you get the crypto. And lastly, you need to take this crypto assets,
Yeah.
invest it into a DeFi protocol,
Yeah.
which means you need to interact directly with smart contracts, right? And interacting with smart contracts is something that is completely new to traditional finance, right? It's something really techy. You like an under level where you need to basically code your own smart contract in Solidity, which is not something that like any financial institution can do today, right? So all of these barriers that I just listed, this is what we do, and this is not something that like unfortunately a nutmeg or a betterment can do in one day. The entire system is different. Think about what happened in 2008 2010 with the neobanks.
Yeah.
We had like old institutional banks, they are like, oh, internet, this is something new, we're gonna try to put like something like give them like online access. And then what happened? You have Revolut coming in the market. I'm taking like an example of Revolut as a neobank in Europe. They got to the market, and what do? They kill it. Why? Because they have capacities, internal capacities, to do what a bank does, but way better with tech. It was basically the beginning of Web 2 for fintech. They had an amazing experience, an amazing app. It was really easy. Everything was instant. For a traditional bank, to have like all the services instant, that was not easy at all. And Revolut, they came, small startup, which is not small anymore, right? And they did it, and they did an amazing project. So the bank were not able to compete back at the time. It took them like 5 to 10 years before having like similar like performance than a Revolut back in 2012, 2014. Monzo as well in UK, same thing. They came into the market, they killed it. So we are in the same situation with crypto,
Yeah.
right? I do believe that HSBC, or Chase or Barclays, in 10 years, you will be able like to buy crypto directly from your from your bank account. But 10 years, there is like some time before adoption.
Yeah. I don't want to put you on record because I totally understand this kind of like early days, but I would like also to get your feeling, because like right now you're saying, okay, I need to actually invent solutions that don't exist. And personally, I have gone through this exact same experience back in my days at Fidor, when there was no challenger banks, and basically Fidor created their own infrastructure and ended up doing B2B, right? So I would love to get your sentiment, and totally understand that it might change depending on where like CryptoSimple is going, but on B2B, but also in white label. Like for you, is CryptoSimple just like a consumer proposition, or actually do you see like a much wider like possibility in the future when it comes to selling to B2B and when it comes to selling it in white label?
Well, if I answer to you that I don't see a much bigger vision, I will be a really bad entrepreneur, right? So yes, the answer is yes, because we are focusing today on the consumer product to actually fill a need, have a product market fit based on the needs that we saw, and that's what we are doing today, right? And this is going really well, by the way. Like we were just like having our product market fit. All users are super happy. I mean, to me, it's quite obvious, but we have to prove that, and this is happening.
Yeah.
But now, because of like what I explained before, with all the tech we are building, not thinking of B2B. I mean, we are going to release like a white label solution to financial institution that for sure. Because if you're a traditional financial institution and you look to expose DeFi, I'm going directly to DeFi here. I'm not even talking to crypto because it's starting. Like we have a bank in France that is now proposing a traditional bank, like more than 100 years old, that is proposing Bitcoin and Ethereum to their clients. Of course, we have neobanks. I'm thinking of Revolut, where you can actually have like crypto. In France, there is Lydia that is using actually a Bitpanda white label solution. I think this is a good example of white label solution to go from TradFi to crypto. What we will sell next year will be to go directly to TradFi to DeFi. Because DeFi, we are really bullish on it. I think this is like the future of like financial product in order to create a maximum yield based on like various assets, including like stable coins. I think this is the most interesting. We will propose that in B2B. So B2B first is white label in order to allow traditional financial institution to connect directly to DeFi, maybe using our license as well because we are regulated, right? So that's something that we could propose. The other kind of B2B is mostly B2B2C, right? It's to sell our solution, that robo-advisory solution, to financial investment advisor. And I'm pleased to say that this is coming at the end of this month. We are going to launch it at the end of this month in an event in France, a special event where all the financial investment affairs, all the FIAs will be present, and we will launch the first financial product available for financial investment advisors. So far, all the solutions that we have on the market are mostly affiliation program, and they are not like a financial investment platform that the FIA can use. Something like we have in stock option, like Swiss Life, Generali, all these kind of solutions that allows like the FIAs to directly invest in ETF for their clients. They don't have that for crypto, and we are going to make it. This is our second solution B2B. That's the first one coming actually, because coming at the end of the month. And you're right. I think in terms of business, the B2C for us is really the flagship project of CryptoSimple. This is what allows us to have like the bare bone foundation in order to go and offer other products, especially for B2B.
Yeah. Totally makes sense. So before finishing this podcast, I would like to dive a bit into regulation. You got basically your license, your French license, crypto license, within months of launching. Can you tell us a bit what was the process here? How did it go?
Well, I'm really positive about that, and I don't think it's the same for all the actors in France, right? Or in any countries. Getting regulated is always complicated, right? Depending on the regulator you have to deal with. In France, the regulator was really, let's say, open-minded and trying to make things happen in order to develop the crypto industry in France. So that's something really important to mention that I noticed. We are in process of getting regulated in other countries, and it's not like this. It's not like this. So I think, in fine, at the end of the day, it's just about politics, right? If you have the right politics that is pushing for, developing a crypto industry, then everything is easier. It's the case in France. I think we can mention Binance that just moved to France. They are creating 100 jobs at the moment, and this personally, I think it's an excellent news for the industry in France that Binance is there, because it shows what the politics are being put in place, the role also of the regulator. So this is an excellent thing. Regarding CryptoSimple getting regulated, this is a long process that took between 9 to 12 months.
Okay. So basically before you even launched, right?
So when we started thinking about CryptoSimple, the mission and the vision behind it was to make it accessible to everyone. To make it accessible to everyone, that means two things. I mean, at least this is our vision. The first thing was people need to invest in fiat. They need to enter in euros. The second thing is, because they enter in euros, you need to be regulated, right? And the last thing is we want to do the custody of the funds. So basically being a custodial, so CeFi, because I still think today, even if there is like amazing product on the market, right? I'm thinking about Argent, that is non-custodial, that is doing this great wallet. They have a great social recovery features. I still think that is hard for someone that doesn't know about crypto to do the custody of the fund themselves. So that was basically the two things: regulation and custody. So regulation, we to be honest with you, we created the company March 18 last year. We sent our DASP submission 2 weeks after. So we created the company 2 weeks after we were already in talks with the regulator. That's the first thing we've done. Because of the delay, right? The delay is because it's an industry that is booming, right? There is a lot of companies. It's being developed crazy in France, in other countries. But the problem the regulator have is not only in France. It's actually all the regulators. It's like they're understaffed. They're understaffed because the industry is booming, and because the staff needs to be, they need to be trained to understand what's crypto, etc. We were talking about education before, where the regulators, they have the same problem. Tax official as well, they have the same problem now. They need to understand what companies does in crypto in order to, to apply the law for the taxes, etc. So that's something that takes some time. So yeah, for us, it took 9 to 12 months to be regulated. The relationship with the regulator were really good, right? We were one of the first company to be regulated that use DeFi protocols. And something that is, I think, play on our favor was the fact that we are completely transparent with our investment policy, meaning that we don't talk about transparency yet, but I'm just moving to that. Sorry, but transparency at CryptoSimple is really important. I think we saw the recent event with Celsius, BlockFi, Voyager. It's unfortunate because, to be transparent with you, I kind of like the products. I think they was doing like great marketing, great UI UX. It was great. It was just like the business model was not great. It was not transparent. And one of the key, pillars in Web3 is transparency. It's all on the blockchain. You can check it by yourself, right? There is no, everything is clear. It's there, and you can check it. And this is what I love about Web3. But now, when I was saying before, regulation and custody, in order to be accessible to everyone, is key for our business. How do we keep this transparency? So basically, we changed the business model completely. We are CeFi. I would call it, we are CeFi 2.0 now, right? We are not like CeFi like Celsius or like Voyager or like even like other are doing today. We are CeFi 2.0, meaning that like our business model is not to actually share the yield with the client and not being transparent about it. We are being transparent. We disclose all of our investment strategy to our client, meaning they go in the app, they see exactly where the assets are being invested. They can see it on the blockchain, and we disclose that. There is nothing hidden, and all the yields that we generate goes back to the user. Our business model, so how do we make money, right? Like how are we profitable? But our business model is completely different. It's inspired by the robot advisory in TradFi, actually, you were mentioning before. We charge management fees. So basically, the users, they pay for a service. So of course, we will not be profitable like Celsius or like all the CeFi. They were doing like a lot of money. They lost a lot as well, playing with risk, playing with fire. For us, everything is transparent, and users are able to check that directly. We are even thinking of working with Chainlink in the coming months or year in order to use their proof of reserve smart contract that actually was working for Celsius. It was a really good feature that they put in place, and we're thinking of actually using it in order to be even more transparent to our users. So I do believe that it's possible to have like a regulated entity CeFi that is custodial, but still is transparent and use like the Web3 values. And this is what we're trying to do at CryptoSimple.
That's really good to hear. We have come to the end of our show, so I would like to thank you, Francois. You generally are a crypto legend, and it was really a pleasure to have you on the show. Everybody stay tuned for more legendary tales as we bring you those most inspiring stories from the crypto legends of Web3. So Crypto Legends is to be continued.